Some survivors and those accused of sexual misconduct on college campuses say the Title IX system governing the cases is not working. Title IX was originally enacted to ensure female students were given equal access to education. The law was later expanded to include sexual misconduct. Although sexual harassment and assault are crimes on campus, these cases are handled by Title IX investigations and don't follow the same rules as criminal court.
The new CBSN Originals documentary, Speaking Frankly, Title IX, talked to both survivors and those accused of sexual misconduct. In this clip, two female students describe what happened when they reported their assaults to the Title IX offices at their respective schools. Their identities have been concealed due to the sensitive nature of the cases discussed.
I'm here today because my sophomore year, I was raped by a fellow student athlete.
So 2 weeks into my freshman year, I was raped by another student athlete.
I reported it to the dean of students, who was in charge of Title IX.
Reporting it didn't really help at all. It kind of made matters worse.
I feel like the process was more harmful to me in a lot of ways than what actually happened to me.
They told me I couldn't go to the city police. I had to go to the on-campus police.
I didn't feel like I was safe.
They switched the Title IX coordinator. In the middle of my process, I had to restart the entire process. So that meant reinvestigating everything and opening everything up.
And they kept reopening it, but they didn't really tell me why they were reopening it.
The statements that I had written before, all the times were wrong, the dates were wrong.
They found him responsible twice, and he appealed it twice.
It seemed that nothing was being resolved, and it was kind of stagnant. Because
they have the mutual no contact orders, so anywhere that he was, I couldn't be, and anywhere that I was, he couldn't be. It made it very difficult for me to go out, to go to school even, which was the main thing.
I don't think that justice was served. They didn't even suspend him.
It is resolved.
Wow, Adam Yamaguchi, executive producer of CBSN Originals, is here with us right now to talk more about this documentary. You know, how do colleges and universities work with law enforcement in these cases when you hear from people feeling as though there was no justice with this process?
You know, surprisingly, there isn't a whole lot of coordination. Anyone who complains to campus has the right to go to police, but only about 20% do, according to the Department of Justice. And that involves a completely different criminal proceeding. We have to remember that Title IX was essentially born out of the Civil Rights Act of '64,
right.
Which did not apply sex discrimination in schools. And so we've seen over the years an expansion of Title IX. As you mentioned, it was expanded to include equal access to sports. And then the Supreme Court in the 90s ruled that sexual assault constituted a barrier to equal access to education. So as the role of, or as the definition of sex discrimination has expanded, so too has the role of college campuses.
Let me ask you this. The documentary features male students who say they were falsely accused and there was no clear process. Is there no standard policy?
There isn't. I mean, Title IX is a very short statute and it isn't very clear. And so campus coordinators have largely had to figure out how to implement the law or the spirit of the law. And so it's all over the place. Some coordinators lean toward favoring the accusers, others favor the accused. The Department of Justice, the Department of Education is currently reviewing the process, but it isn't entirely clear how or when those changes will trickle down.
Yeah, it sounds frustrating for everybody.
Absolutely.
All right, Adam Yamaguchi, thank you very much. And you can stream the CBSN Originals documentary, Speaking Frankly, Title IX, on our website. Go to cbsnews.com/Title IX.